The Las Vegas Raiders' recent decision regarding their first-round draft pick has sparked a wave of speculation. Tyree Wilson, a player who is expected to be a defensive star, appears to be falling short of expectations and facing an uncertain future. After a disappointing season and underwhelming performance, the Raiders' decision to keep or release Wilson becomes a critical one. With the potential impact on defensive strategies and interest from other teams, what will happen to Wilson? If you're a Raiders fan and want to learn more about this intriguing situation, keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and comment below about Tyree Wilson's future. When the Las Vegas Raiders selected Tyree Wilson with their first pick in the draft, expectations were high. With an impressive college record and the promise of being a dominant defensive force, Wilson seemed like the key to strengthening the Raiders' defense. However, the reality has been much different. After an underwhelming rookie season and a disappointing performance in training camp, the Raiders are now faced with a crucial decision: keep Wilson or let him go. The situation is further complicated by Wilson's recent preseason performance. With the competition fierce and the need to maximize defensive effectiveness, the Raiders have to evaluate whether Wilson can become an impactful player or if it's time to consider alternatives. The prospect of trading him before the trade deadline could be an attractive option, especially if other teams are interested. Let's explore the details of this situation and the potential implications for the Raiders' future. The first-round draft pick of Tyree Wilson was made with high expectations. The Raiders invested in a player who seemed to have what it takes to become a defensive mainstay. However, Wilson's rookie season left much to be desired. Despite showing flashes of talent, his stats and overall impact haven't lived up to what the Raiders had hoped for. A lack of consistency and difficulty in finding a prominent role have raised questions about his future with the team. With head coach Antonio Pierce and new general manager Tom Tesco assessing the situation, the decision about Wilson's future has become a pressing issue. Keeping a player who isn't performing up to expectations could affect team dynamics and confidence in the draft process. The team must consider whether it's more advantageous to keep Wilson in the hopes of development or pursue alternatives that could yield immediate results. Tyree Wilson had a rookie season that didn't live up to the hype. Despite being one of the top players selected in the draft, he struggled to adapt to the professional level and failed to perform as expected. With just 3.5 sacks and 8 knockdowns, Wilson failed to make the difference the Raiders had hoped for. Compared to Malcolm Koonce, who stood out positively, Wilson fell short in terms of impact and effectiveness. Additionally, Wilson's performance has been hampered by an injury in training camp last year and the pressure of taking on a larger role following the departure of Chandler Jones. While he has made a full recovery this offseason, signs of improvement have been minimal. This raises questions about Wilson's ability to become an impactful player for the Raiders' defense. When analyzing Wilson's performance, it's important to consider how he compares to other players on the Raiders' defense. Maxx Crosby and Malcolm Koonce are examples of players who have stepped up and contributed significantly to the team. Crosby, in particular, is an all-pro defender and a mainstay on the defensive line. The presence of high-level players like Crosby and Koonce puts even more pressure on Wilson to excel. A direct comparison between Wilson and these players reveals significant disparities. Wilson's pass rush success rate was significantly lower than Koonce, and his overall stats were disappointing. This suggests that if Wilson fails to rise to the level expected, the team may consider trading as an option to improve the depth of the defense and seek players who can contribute immediately. The possibility of trading Tyree Wilson is a hot topic. With his underperforming performance and interest from other teams, the Raiders may consider a trade as a way to improve the team. However, the value the Raiders can get for Wilson is a complex question. Given his disappointing performance and the fact that he still has substantial guarantees on his contract, trading for a third-round pick may not be ideal. The team must evaluate whether the potential return from a trade justifies the decision to part with a player with potential. If an attractive offer comes in, it could be an opportunity for the Raiders to bolster other areas of the team, especially considering future needs such as a quarterback search. Careful and strategic negotiation will be crucial to maximizing the value obtained for Wilson. Tyree Wilson's market value is a crucial aspect in deciding whether to keep or trade him. With an underperforming performance and a significant contract, the value the Raiders can get in a trade is a major consideration. It's unlikely a team would offer much more than a third-round pick, given Wilson's poor rookie season. The team needs to evaluate whether keeping Wilson and waiting for future development is more advantageous than accepting a trade offer. The possibility that Wilson could become an impactful player in a rotational role could influence the decision. However, if an offer that exceeds the expected value comes in, it could be an attractive opportunity for the Raiders. Despite his early struggles, Tyree Wilson's future development is a major consideration. The experience he gained during his rookie season and the opportunity to work with experienced players like Crosby and Coons could help Wilson improve. If he can adapt his game and increase his production, he could become a valuable asset to the Raiders' defense. The team must consider Wilson's growth potential and whether the investment in his development is worth it. Keeping Wilson and giving him more time and opportunities could be a prudent strategy, especially if he shows signs of improvement during the season. Wilson's continued development will be crucial in determining his future with the Raiders. Tyree Wilson's performance in the 2024 season will be a determining factor in his future with the Raiders. With the opportunity to play as a rotational pass rusher and go one-on-one with the likes of Crosby and Christian Wilkins, Wilson has a chance to prove himself. The team will be looking for him to increase his production and contribute significantly to the defense. If Wilson fails to record at least 5.0 sacks this season, the Raiders may consider releasing him. The pressure to excel and justify his high draft pick will be high. The team needs tangible results and a visible improvement in Wilson's performance to justify keeping him on the team. Tyree Wilson's presence or absence will have a significant impact on the Raiders' defense. If Wilson can develop into an effective player, it will bolster the defensive line and provide additional depth. If not, the team may need to consider other options to bolster its defense and handle the demands of the season. The Raiders' defense already features talented players like Crosby and Coons, and adding an impactful player like Wilson could elevate the defense even further. The team must carefully evaluate how Wilson's situation affects its defensive strategy and whether adjustments are needed to optimize the team's performance. The decision on Tyree Wilson's future is a strategic one for the Raiders. The team must consider all factors, including current performance, market value, and potential for future development. Keeping Wilson and investing in his growth may be an option, but a trade could also provide opportunities to improve the team and strengthen other areas. The final decision will depend on the assessments made by the coaching staff and management. The strategy for dealing with Wilson will have significant implications for the future of the Raiders' defense and the overall makeup of the team. Careful analysis and consideration of all available options will be essential to making the best decision. Tyree Wilson's situation with the Las Vegas Raiders is a critical issue for the team, with significant implications for the future of the defense. The decision to keep or trade Wilson will be influenced by several factors, including his performance, market value, and development potential. The team will need to make a strategic decision that considers all of these aspects to maximize future success. Did you like what you saw? Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like it, and comment below about Tyree Wilson's future. Your opinion is important to us, and we want to know what you think of the decisions the Raiders may make. Stay tuned for more updates on the Raiders and other news from the world of American football.